You're also watching us live on Facebook. If you're not watching us live on Facebook yet, at some point we're going to say bye-bye on Joy Prime. Then you can cross over to Facebook. Look for Joy 99.7 FM. Hashtag Showbiz A to Z. You can drop your messages as well on Twitter. We tweet at Joy 99.7 FM. And of course, hashtag Showbiz A to Z. I promised you a great conversation and we're just about to get it started. Yes, let me first welcome my regulars in the house. Of course, always on point. The first to get in all the time, Uncle Kennedy. Uncle Ken, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
We're good. Nice, we're good.
Man.
Give your boy, you give pressure.
I'm used to that.
Yeah, Englishman. I don't think I need to ask whether the cup is going to Rome or going to Trafalgar Square.
The UEFA.
Yeah, where do you think it's going?
Me, I want it to go to Rome.
Really? Interesting. Why?
Because my people are too loud.
English press won't let the world rest, eh? Interesting. Well, let's wait for tomorrow and see how it's going to go. Jesse,
yes, sir.
How you doing, boss?
Fantastic. Sir.
Oh, Charlie, you say you go do another party, invite me, make a come. So, man.
I did top. I did try to cut the budget down. Right now, I did almost about 370, so I won't cut them down.
370 what?
1,000 CDs. So.
Oh, just for the small party.
Just for the small party.
How much you spend on the first one?
I think it was about 652,000. Yeah.
No, I saw 678.
678. Oh yeah.
678.
Yes, please.
Where you do the party for?
For my house.
Where your house be?
63 Marie Curie Shoe Garden.
Political party.
I don't know what the body is. Your idea like Tony Stacking house.
I give you the address already. This address I give you where I go stay, go do £5 an hour for London. Camberwell Green, close to Peckham.
Okay. International anyway,
Yeah, Southwest.
All right. Well, I'm honored this afternoon. I get the opportunity to interview a woman I have always admired. I mean, a woman who has inspired so many of us.
Are you reading from your template?
Yes, from my head. I write them like last week. So make I take my... Don't interrupt, otherwise I'll go forget. A woman I have always admired, and a woman who has inspired so many of us in so many different ways. A woman who can listen to you on radio and just send you a text. Look, this is not how you say this, or this is not. What are you talking about? You know, the kind of people who, when you're seated behind this microphone, you know you cannot go wrong because they are listening and they have a marking scheme. People can more performance. You know, the people that make it impossible for some of us to misbehave. Honorable Abla Dzifa Gomashie. Mama.
You're not supposed to say it all.
Okay,
I teach you that.
But I've left the rest.
Oh boy.
I've left the rest. You know, somebody said you'd be a very beautiful asset for the NPP.
Sorry?
A friend of mine once said you'd be a very beautiful asset for the NPP, the New Patriotic Party. What do you think?
A moment of silence.
I think that they should accept me as I am. I'm for Ghana, and I happen to be a member of the National Democratic Congress. And cherish me as a Ghanaian. I think that's what.
Why is Sadiq jumping when you mentioned that Sadiq is jumping?
I didn't see that.
To say that NDC doesn't deserve fine people.
Oh no! It was somebody's opinion.
The person is wrong.
No, the person is not wrong.
Disagree.
We
disagree.
You disagree?
It's actually no news, really.
I've
heard that before, but it just means that I'm a Ghanaian.
It just means that you're a Ghanaian
who happens to be an NDC member, and it is what it is.
I like that. I mean, I like that. I like the part about the Ghanaian. So let us assume President of the Republic, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, offered you a position right now in our tourism, art, and cultural ministry.
Joy 99.7 FM.
Would you take it?
Joy
The
99.7
consideration will
FM.
only come because I'm qualified for it.
Yes, because you're qualified. So that's how come you're being.
I agree, but his own people chew him up.
But would you?
What
about your people? Wouldn't they chew you up?
Perhaps, maybe, I don't know. But I mean, look, you know me. I don't like to just conjecture things that are not likely to happen. I wouldn't be out of work if it was so, right?
Yeah.
When President Nana Addo Dankwa became president, I was already a minister.
True.
Why didn't he keep me there? Why do I have now that I'm out of job? Be considering whether he could keep
or not. Well, I only asked because you mentioned the Ghanaian bit that you
Yes,
are for Ghana,
yes.
and for me, I think if every politician would look at it that way and think that way, we could move this nation forward in a very, very positive direction. So I pray that a lot more politicians begin to think the way you're thinking and putting Ghana first. I think that would help us. Or
It should.
it should. It really should. It really should. Sadiq, for instance, wants to be Minister for Tourism, Arts and Culture.
Oh, good. He'll be a good material, won't he?
For the NPP.
Okay, now you're playing. Now you're playing.
It will never happen.
Oh, wow.
It will not happen.
Never say never, Sadiq.
No, I'm just following my boss.
Never say never.
Conjuring things that will never happen.
Never say never.
And not conjuring things that will happen.
Never say
An
never.
excessive futility. Wishing for a thing
No,
like
it
that.
will not happen.
Never ever say never. All right, we're gonna have a very, very beautiful conversation with my mother and friend, Honorable Abla Dzifa Gomashie. I mean, I wish somebody could do this interview. Because I don't know where to start from. The stories are so many. First, let us start from School of Performing Arts.
Ajay.
How did you find yourself there, and why did you choose there? And how do you go to School of Performing Arts, stop acting, and become a politician?
Oh, Lord. How can you do that? That's like a whole thesis topic.
Well, you can summarize it.
So, it's no news.
Yeah.
First of all, let me say hello to my Can I call you a co-panelist?
Yeah.
Yes,
what it is,
yes,
isn't
yes,
it?
yes, yes. It's a
yes.
family here.
It is. It feels like home.
No,
It's
I hope
good.
you like your drink.
Why are you looking for trouble?
Njegbe.
Eh, you got your.
Dabi, mene.
Can't have it to be an oicho bag bubble.
Wafire mene few. Mene.
You know, Uncle Ken, I wrote on Facebook that how did Joy FM manage to put these two people on the same show? I mean, why?
Kwame Rasta.
No. These two, those two ones looking at me, these two people. This one and that one.
And George Quaye.
No.
Philip and I.
Never meet.
These two are crap boys. How did that happen?
That one there, I agree with you. Terrible combination.
I don't know why.
Uncle Ken.
Bad cocktail.
Uncle Ken.
Mafiosos.
But
Somehow.
anyway, to answer your question,
Yeah.
it's no secret that I failed my first O level. And so I needed to buy time to rewrite the O level. And I followed Gloria to the art center. Gloria will be Gloriofori. And yes, and Talents was the ish group in the town, in Ghana at the time.
Talents Theatre Company.
Yes,
Oh,
Talents
okay,
Theatre
okay.
Company.
They used to
And,
rehearse at, was it at Asylum Down or something?
The what?
What they used to rehearse, I think, at Asylum
No, at
Down
the
or
Art
something.
Centre.
Art Center, right?
At the
Okay,
Art Centre,
okay,
yes,
okay.
at the
Yeah,
Art Centre.
yeah.
And that's where this is the era of President Rawlings. I'm talking about 1984, 1985. I got attracted to the stage because I went to see them. I decided to join them. I followed them for a year before they put me on stage, and only because somebody fell sick. Thankfully, it was a role that was very, let's say, in my domain, my turf. I love dancing.
Yeah.
So this role had dance in it, and so Gloria proposed that she can dance, Dzifa can do the Adwa dance, and they put me on stage, and here's my story.
Wow.
Going to performing arts was because from Talents I joined a Bibi Groma, and I realized that they all had, let's say, about only 3 of us didn't have a diploma in theater at the time. And I felt intimidated. You know, I don't like that, right? So I went to get myself one because I realized that this is home to me, the creative arts, dancing, acting.
Joy
doing makeup for
99.7
people,
FM.
costuming. It's something that comes naturally to me. So I thought that the home that could accommodate me would be the theater school.
Yeah.
I tried to get into NAFTI. So bless his heart, the late Bill Marshall, the late Kofi Meditermans all thought that I was their students, only because I spent every day in that school. But I enjoyed my theatre school, did diploma, I went back to do the degree, but then I crossed over to the Institute of African Studies to do the MPhil in African Studies. Politics. See, if you were born in my generation, I was born in the late 60s, and you meet the likes of Ifwa Sutherland, and you meet President Rawlings and Mrs. Rawlings, and you meet Joyce Ayi, you meet Akunu Dake, A.C. Sutherland, Nana Benyin Datsun, Ajaba Kwadodu, Mame Dokun. When you've met all of these people, Sandiakers, and you hear them speak passionately about your country, and you have the opportunity to perform on stage in plays like Chaka the Zulu, Mambo, The Black Star, The Trial of Kwame Nkrumah. When you've read those plays, those art pieces, Shakespeare, the Nigerian plays, when you've been exposed to those kinds of literature, it inspires and evokes something in you.
Exactly.
A desire to love your country, a desire to appreciate your Africanness, a desire to play your part in whatever corner that you find yourself.
Honorable, I'm going to interrupt you 1 minute.
Sure.
And listeners, please pardon me. I need to go to the phone lines and take a call. We've got
Lord.
Mr. Ishen, who is Castro's father.
Oh.
Yes, and I understand there's a family meeting, so he has a very brief moment to spend with us. So let me quickly pick him, and then we'll come back to the conversation. Hello, Daddy.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you doing, sir?
Oh, my friend. Yeah.
Thank you so very much for taking our call on Joy 99.7 FM this afternoon. Over the last couple of weeks, we've been discussing our brother and your son, Theo, Fee. Fee is a brother to this industry, and a lot of us worked with him in various capacities. People have been saying all sorts. That is the 7th year, and in case law and constitution and all that, it means that this year he has to be officially declared dead and all those things. And some of us are just wondering. We've not heard anything from the family, officially or otherwise. So we figured, look, if there's anybody who we can speak to in this matter, you would be the best person since you are the father. To start with, how's the family coping with all the news that's in the space?
Thank you for the opportunity given me. We've also been hearing all that is going about. But as I speak to you now, we are even yet to receive anything official from the Ghana police. Well, nobody is above the law. Nobody is above the constitution of Ghana. So we all abide by it. As a family, we are not in dispute with the police or with the constitution or whatever. I've already said that we haven't heard anything from the police. Whether they are coming to declare him dead or we've all been hearing. But as a family, all that I can say in brief is that we didn't put everything, we didn't leave everything in the hands of the police. While they were doing their investigation, we as a family were also doing that. Now, we are yet. I'm saying this because of the numerous miscalculations and the numerous arguments and statements that we have. That we as a family haven't come up with anything. We haven't decided to hold any funeral or whatever. As far as we haven't had any clue as a family. We haven't decided, we haven't sat down, we haven't issued any statement, whatever, that we are going to have a funeral on this day or on that day. We are also pursuing. It will surprise you that even if tomorrow, when we all wake up, And as a family, we feel we have had enough evidence. Our investigation have led us to, have a firm belief that all is over. I mean, why not? Why not? We can invite you to be a member of the planning committee or whatever. But all that about the public and the media to tell the family that we are going through a very hard time, very difficult time. We should allow the family to come out also. The pre-judgment and whatever, the pre-statement and whatever is too much.
Okay, Daddy. We'll do that. Daddy, if you can please lower the volume on your radio set for us a little bit, we'll be very grateful. Or on
I
the
don't have
TV
any
set.
radio around me.
Oh, okay. All right. We're getting some feedback, but
Where I am, the reception is there.
the reception. Okay, then that's
the
why.
family is having a meeting.
Oh, okay, no problem. But Daddy, you mentioned the family has been doing. You mentioned that the family has been having its own investigations or conducting its own investigations. Would you want to share the kind of outcome that you've been able to gather so far?
Please allow us to keep that on our chest. Let us keep that card on our chest. I've already said, I've stated that if we find out that all that we're looking for points to the conclusion that we've done with it, that it's finished with it. I mean, we come out and issue a statement. But for now, we haven't, whatever. So we just pleaded with the listening public, I mean, the followers, the media, everybody. Yes, bear with us. I'm going. You see, since last week, when this 1 year, 7 years issues started coming, what the mental and the trauma that the mother, I think the man has stood. Oh my God, I'm strong enough to speak to you.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I don't want to say much.
I understand. I understand.
Not to talk about the children, what they are going through.
I can understand your pain, Daddy. And we respect that. But finally, have you?
Would it be possible? I move my shoes for you to put your leg into the free house.
Daddy, I can't even try to wear your shoes. I can only imagine it. And we truly do feel your pain and that of the family as well. But finally, so we can quickly let you get back to the meeting. Has the Ghana police told you anything at all? I mean, when was the last time you heard from the Ghana police on this matter?
As already said, when this issue cropped up, I went and logged an official report that my son had gone to secretaries and his minister. So we handed over the investigation to them and they own it. I was from Takrady. Traveling all the way from Takrady to the secretaries in Accra. That is the homicide division. And we were collaborating with them. We had discussions and they assured us that whatever comes out, they will let us know. So we are there to hear from them. But as I speak to you now, so they rumors and maybe let me say you are the first person that I'm hearing this from you. That you declared. If he's been declared fine, so be it. But we, the family, are yet to come out with
Daddy, so from what you're saying, you haven't heard from the police ever since the beginning of this case. That was like 7 years ago?
Oh, I've told you that when the issue came up, I reported to the police. The issue was taken up by the police headquarters and the investigation was going on. So I've been going to them. I had a fruitful collaboration with them. We've been discussing, we've been having discussion. But I speak to you now. I haven't heard anything from them concerning the declaration or the judgment, whether the outcome of the judgment or whatever.
All right, Daddy. I know you're in a meeting, and we promised we won't take too much of your time, so I'm going to let you go. But we all pray and hope for the best. We're looking forward to seeing Castro on stage again sometime soon.
That is all what we are hoping for. You know, as a father, all that I'm looking for. If truly he's dead and in his body, I mean, who am I to challenge. I quickly do whatever is needful for me to get on with my life. If I see him alive, hallelujah. I mean, I celebrate with him. You enjoy the celebration. And that is all.
Daddy, thank you very much. We wish the family the very best, and we, his fans, also wish ourselves the very best, and we all hope for the best.
I'm with you.
Thank you very much. All right, and that was Castro's father. He indicated the fact that it's a very difficult moment for the family, and also did mention nobody is above the law. So if Constitution demands that he be declared dead whatsoever, they are not going to challenge it in any way. But they've also been conducting their own investigations, and they pray the public to allow them to come out at the appropriate time when they are done with their own investigations. Whatever the outcome, they would make it public. And since the beginning, when the issue cropped up, he left Takrady, came all the way to the police headquarters in Accra to lodge an official complaint, and they've been very cooperative. They've been working with the police, but there hasn't been any conclusion whatsoever just yet. So that was Castro's father, Mr. Ishan. Let me come back to the studios, and then gentlemen, we'll talk about this one later. What do you say? Yes, I think we'll talk about this one later. So we are going back to Honorable Abla Dzifa Gomashie. So, Honorable, sorry for that interruption again. Because they were in a family meeting, we just needed to get it out. It's a very emotional, sad story, and we're praying for some conclusion. When it happened, you were Deputy Minister of Tourism when it happened. Oh, wait, 7 years ago. No, you weren't. No, you were. No. Oh, you were from 2012 to 2013. Okay, that's
2013
true.
2016.
To 2016. Interesting. What was your mandate as Deputy Minister?
Well, before I became Deputy Minister, I belonged to the Ghana Culture Forum, and we had been engaging the government, that would be of Atamils, in what to do with our sector and what we wanted it to do. So when I became Deputy Minister, the mandate was to realign the sector, short term, find a legal framework within which the ministry should work, medium term, try to implement some things that had been listed by in the manifesto and by government in the contracts that were signed with us as ministers. Let me say that before my appointment, there was no Ministry of Tourism, Culture and Creative Arts. The legal instrument that set it up was in 2013. And so our task was basically to find all the homes that accepted us as creative artists, all the homes that culture had, and what tourism had. What legal documents were they working with? How can we rein them all in, sift through them, realign the ministry, and let it take off? So let's say that John Dramani Mahama, president, birthed that ministry. You may recall that we had the Ministry of Tourism, we had Ministry of Information, we had communication, we had education. Culture was in the domain of the National Commission on Culture, but Creative Arts was an adopted child of a few other ministries. So this is the first time that we could call a place our home. One of the things that we were to do was to look at how the laws that governed the tourism ministry could embrace and accommodate culture and creative arts. Because now then the ministry, the National Commission on Culture was not on its own as it used to be. It's now, shall I say, consumed by the Ministry of Tourism, Culture and Creative Arts. So in the first 2 years, we tried to lay that out. When that was done, we looked at the international agencies, institutions, the laws that set them up, which ones are we a part of, which ones are we not a part of. And for example, we are part of UNESCO, but we had not ratified the UNESCO convention, so we couldn't take advantage of them. So those were the kinds of things that President John Dramani Mahama mandated us to do. Look at the local sector, what is available. Internationally, what is available. How can we incorporate all of that to make our new ministry drive the sector? Many of us talk about the music and dance and film industry, forgetting about all the other domains within the creative arts sector. But it was our duty to bring them all apart with the other domains that were doing quite well. Talk of fashion, talk of gastronomy, talk of new media. How are we going to allow them to also take the ministry as their home? So in the first 2 years, this is what we did. We set up a committee to help us take a look at the paperwork, so to speak. Take a look at the paperwork, and then now move that into the interministerial space. Because whatever we come up with, the lawyer for the state is Attorney General.
Yes.
So we have to go there, get them to accept that what we are suggesting will work, get them to gazette it, and then presidential signatures will be attached. Then we can start using them. So it was quite hectic waiting for the other ministries to move along with us at the speed that we wanted to move at. In between that was also the work that already existed in the various spaces. For example, culture, which was National Commission on Culture and became Ministry of Culture and Religion. Now we had pulled it out again. So what were they doing when they belonged into those various places? How can we retrieve those energies from them and add it to the new ministry that had been created? By and large, I think that we were pretty successful, even if I say so myself. We have laid enough foundation, solid enough, for the structure to be put on it. I am looking forward to the current leaders in that office to take advantage of, for example, the conventions that we ratified, which will allow them to access funding to build on what we have started. I'm grateful for the opportunity that was given me. I think that I offered my energy the best that I could for the development of our sector.
You mentioned funding very quickly, but we've also heard, I mean, it even came up at the vetting. The NPP has said consistently that when it comes to tourism, arts and culture, your office left nothing.
Well,
Funding,
our office
financially.
is not a bank, is it? Our office is not a bank. Our office is like any ministry. The budget is read. You know how much is given to the ministry. It's not a secret. It's a public document. So how are we to get funding? How are we to get money for a specific task and leave it for who to come and use? I don't understand that though.
Interesting, because when we go back to the manifesto, the 2012 manifesto, you took over from 2013. There was a particular point there, because I look at some of the things that were outlined in that manifesto. Is that make Ghana a preferred and competitive tourist destination? That seems to be in almost every manifesto. Develop new high-value options in the leisure market, particularly in the culture, heritage, and ecotourism component of the tourism industry, while enhancing the attractiveness of existing products. And this one is a particular interest. So design programs to reduce the constraints of operators in the sector with a special focus on women entrepreneurs. Which of the manifesto promises would you say you confidently and successfully delivered on?
Then perhaps this question should have come before the first one.
Yes,
Because
perhaps, yes.
the ministry is new. You cannot operate in a vacuum. You can't operate in a vacuum. There has to be a legal backing that determines how far you can go in everything.
Yeah.
So that's why I was saying that in the first 2 years, we set up a committee. There was I can't remember the lawyer's name, who was assisting us on the committee to pull all the legal things that culture creative arts could use when it was with information, when it was with communication, when it was with who else? National Commission on Culture. We needed to see what can we use with those laws. Remember, they were not made for creative arts.
Yeah.
Creative arts it was functioning, but it was the child of every mother who was available.
A new baby.
It wasn't even
For anybody who was willing to pick it up.
Anybody who was willing to listen to us became our mother.
Yeah.
And over the years, we were with one person or the other. One mother took us a little bit, passed us on to somebody else, passed it on. So what we needed to do, which is what President John Dramani Mahama mandated us to do, was to look at all these laws that allowed us as creative artists to function. Which of them can we take, and how can we incorporate them in the new ministry that had been formed? That's not a day's job. It's not 6 months' job. It's not a year's job. It's work in progress because it was never there. Look, I recall that there were people who said, and football this, let me just issue a disclaimer. I'm not a football person, but the things I heard was, for example, sports this, that, Ministry of Sports takes care of football. Yeah, but that's them. And that ministry has been there from day one.
From day one, yeah.
And the rules and regulations are there.
Yeah.
We didn't have a place. We just assumed that creative arts always had a ministry. We didn't have it. It was only that legal instrument that put it in place in 2013. 2013. And to be assessing the ministry's work, you cannot just jump in the middle of it and expect to see the end.
Mm-hmm.
We laid a foundation. We sowed a seed. We needed to water it and see it germinate, and then see it grow, and then prune it, and then it starts bearing. So if within the period that I was mandated to be a deputy minister of the sector, you expect this child to be born, crawl, walk, run, gosh, won't Ghana have been like which other country?
What were some of the challenges that you encountered as deputy minister during your tenure? What were some of the challenges? What made it impossible to, achieve some of these things very easily? Some of the promises that had been made.
Well, I think that as a nation, we need to reconsider how much we invest in the sector. We need to also look at what the potential of the sector, so that when we are budgeting for it, we don't put it at the bottom.
Uh-huh.
And after you've shared everything, then you consider how much to give us. If you know that tourism is your third earner, or fourth earner, or second earner, shouldn't you be interested in making that, putting the things in place so that it can be that access to the foreign direct investment that you want? That was a problem for me, that our budget was never enough to deal with it. I know that, or I feel that we could have, and there's still opportunity to do that. We can make tourism in this country, barring COVID and all the wahala that it has put us in, make it grow faster than it's doing. When people want to come here to see Ghana, they're not coming here to learn how to produce a car. The product that tourism is selling is cultural.
True.
So I think that the state, the nation, should invest more in those products so that it can earn the money that it wants. And I found that unnerving, for want of a better word.
As someone releases other
yeah,
things were more important than.
Yeah, like we were. Look,
But you had the president's ear at the time. Couldn't you have made a case, or is it that you made a case and they wouldn't listen?
no. Okay, so there are two things. The foundation that we were mandated to lay. If we had completed everything, then I'm sure that it would have been easier to get His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama to do what I wanted. I told you that we had a short term, medium term, and long term, the contract that he gave us. Unfortunately, within the 3.5 years that I had, it was not enough to do as much as I wanted to. So it's neither here nor there. It was his vision, by the way, remember, that he understood that what we sell in tourism is culture and the creative arts. And that's why he put them all in one place. So that in itself, for me, was a reason to believe that it was doable and that he was willing to do it. If we had put everything, look, ratifying those conventions, for example, some of the conventions were there before I was born. Ghana had shown interest, but we had not ratified. And to ratify it is collaboration between UNESCO, Parliament, local, the domains in the sector, and us as a ministry. So our only lack was that at the time, President Mahama had an ambassador in France who understood the importance of what we were doing. So between her and Marietta Brew, who was the Attorney General, they were able to help us do it fast. Otherwise, we would have been crawling and may have left the ministry without being able to ratify those conventions. Anytime you hear, I'll share those conventions with you. Anytime you hear that we've been able to access any money from UNESCO, you should thank President John Dramani Mahama for instructing us to make sure those conventions were ratified.
Sadiq, stop nodding.
Oh, Lord. But you're nodding too, and I'm looking at you like...
Sadiq is nodding too. He's not like an agama. He just keeps nodding.
Boy.
Pa, 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 pa.
Ah, George Quaye. Not much has changed.
Good afternoon, good evening. I am listening, Pa. My special regards to Honorable Abla Dzifa Gomashie and to all the panelists in the studio. I miss them, especially Jesse Uncle Ken and Kwame Rasta. That one is coming in from Akunu Dake. And this one says, George, don't say my name. I know Honorable Abla Dzifa Gomashie to be a very hard-working woman. I hear she was impeded by the minister at the time, and she didn't allow her to work. Please find out if it is true for me.
Oh, dear.
Was there a problem of that sort?
That's retrogressive.
But was there a problem, or did somebody hinder you from work? Because I also
No.
know you to be very hardworking. I mean, I've known you since. Was there any, hindrance?
Should
You
there
were
have
deputy
been?
minister.
Should there have been?
Oh, Philip and I fight all the time, but
But
we
you're
still
working.
manage to.
No.
Yeah.
But we weren't fighting. I think that too much was made out of people wanting to see as bodies, or people expecting a certain energy that they didn't see. But if I tell you that these are the things we were able to do, if Elizabeth Ofosue-Jare had not given the way for us to do it, I won't be sitting here naming them as things that we were able to do, right? So we had a mandate and we worked together to achieve them. I wish that we had more time. I'm sure that we would have put this industry on the second step. That was my wish, but as fate will have it, 2016 we couldn't continue with our work. But throughout my appointment, I think people focus too much on what is happening between Elizabeth, the Honourable Minister, and I.
Was something happening?
I don't know. Maybe there was, but I don't know.
Well.
Maybe there was, but I don't know.
But at the end of the day, you were able to get the results.
I beg your
together.
pardon?
But you were able to get the results at the end of the day.
I suppose.
So, yeah.
I suppose. Look, one day I got a call from one professor from Legon, who said that somebody had done a poll of a sort of which minister should have been kept by President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, and somehow my name appears as one of the
list.
names that was suggested. she and another colleague of hers are doing a research on women in politics. And because of that that poll, they wanted to interview me. So if I did well, it's because we worked together.
Yeah.
So for me, I don't know how to, convince people that perhaps they read too much into what was going on. Look, I'm not an easy person to work with, okay? I'm
We know, pa.
So okay, listeners, George Quaye was a student in performing arts, and in many of the productions that I managed, I could drop people. You know, if you are late for rehearsals, you are dropped.
Don't put it that way, Jesse. Dzifa could drop you on day of performance.
Yeah.
Day of performance. You
Yes.
are opening performance. It's okay. You can do it again. Go home.
Yes, I can sack you. I can fire you. You must be principled. You must.
that.
You Uber school so be right?
Yeah.
Sure, like Let
Let me bring my panel into the conversation. Honorable Kennedy is here. Honorable Jesse Amwejepong is here. Kwame Rasta is here. I can't add honorable to Kwame Rasta. It won't work. He himself, he knows. Future Honorable Sadiq Abdullah Abu is here. In fact, I think it would be fair we start with Sadiq for obvious reasons. No. We are starting with Sadiq. No. In fact, the house agrees we start with Sadiq for obvious reasons. Yes, Sadiq.
No, for me, I mean, it's just excitement listening to. Of course.
Yeah, Kwame is asking for trouble. Kwame is asking for trouble.
Kwame,
He was
behave.
lying on the floor when he saw me.
Yes.
But now he's trying to.
You know how the
he's trying
Nigerians do the KBC?
Yeah. Huh.
See when he saw me.
No, for me, I mean the detailed explanation regarding some of the works they did,
Yeah.
which by now should have borne, if I went up a better word, fruits by now, bore fruits by now, and and then obviously, I know this most important thing that was always going to come up, the questions on the rumor, and I'm glad that Honorable was able to speak to it, and so for me, that's my point on this.
That's it.
That's all.
From what's day,
Listeners, for the first time in the history of this show, Sadiq has spoken for 2 seconds.
What do you say again?
Hey, Sadiq! Let me continue with Kwame Rasta. Rasta, it looks like Sadiq has given you the rest of his time. Yeah.
For Senna Momo to
See,
I swear.
Producer, you see why I refuse to come to this show? It's almost 2 years. You've been trying to get me to come here. I've been refusing because I know exactly what you all have been planning, but I'm ready for you.
Oh, no. You know me and you, we can't plan anything sinister. No. Rasta,
Yes.
Honorable Abla Dzifa Gomashie is here. If you don't speak wisdom, she'll ask you to go home. I know. Yes, so please, bring on your A game.
that, yeah, so we spent precious time out there in
Yeah.
the waiting area, and I did let her know my feelings, innermost feelings towards her.
Where's the feelings?
Can you calm
Please,
down?
let Rasta land. Let Rasta land.
Oh, Lord.
Yes, we spoke, and
I'm sorry, you didn't finish the first sentence.
No, it's okay. You let's move forward.
my feelings about how
It works. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No, we need to understand. Anyway,
I mean, listen, there's no.
oh, you're not put. Oh, okay.
What? Justin, what's your problem? Is it your feeling?
You wanna shoot my shoot away, Charlie? Charlie, make I shoot my everything.
What's that movie? Django Unchained.
Yes, Django Unchained. Exactly. Unchained.
Charlie, guys,
Please feel your feeling. Let's go ahead.
no, the way eyes dey my top, I know, I read go come inside. So I got your number and Facebook account. Though,
So yeah, okay.
You're going to the DM,
but, see, we're all here when the NDC brought or decided to institute a whole ministry to cater for our needs as agents and agencies, and or to sort of satisfy a certain growing clamor for more attention, under the sector. And I was one of the few persons who believed that it was a waste of resources to put together a whole ministry, because so far as I was concerned, if the agencies, the existing agencies and or within the sector were strengthened, we could more than enough cater for our needs. But it came to pass that the president thought it wise to go along with was it an electoral promise, a manifesto promise to institute that, I'm not quite sure, but whatever it is, when names were dropped that these are potential candidates to head the ministry, and her name was in that bracket of hopefuls, some of us, in spite of our principle of not agreeing to the ministry being instituted, felt that she being a practitioner was cool. The other names we didn't know, and Madam Fosu Ejare became the substantive, and then she served as deputy. Now, we had even the bit about the LI. I mean, she's a politician, so she has spoken well. But we who were expectant and at the ground level, and especially in opposition, we're always paying for whatever there is out there, considering the delay in letting the LI make the ministry operational. Because without the LI, even if budgetary allocations are made to the ministry, there are certain constitutional hurdles. That was, so you do not fall foul of the law. Now, we who made it our business to try to know what was happening and was not happening, we had heard stories that Charlie, Minister Adencheni o yano ya haleshie, o like a that kind of, and it might be imagined or not, but from more indications or what our sources told us, she, especially because she was a practitioner, she was the one that you could go to and raise concerns or express your frustrations and whatnot. And also because when the ministry was instituted, people assumed that once you go there, now that we have a ministry, once you get there, it's your one-stop shop for all your problems to be solved. The issues that have dogged the steps of the myriad of associations under the ministry, for instance, back in the day it was worse. So we had even more pressing welfare, especially issues, and she again was the person that we knew, or they knew. So I sit here and I say that she did her best, considering the fact that even at a point we heard that she wanted to go and beat her substantive minister or something. No, listen, I am not saying that I saw you made that attempt, but you have sat here and have admitted that you're not a very easy person to work with. Yeah. So when I would want to assume that if you have a substantive minister like the one that we had in our MPP first term, the one from forestry, Barbara, what's her name?
Otenjesi.
Thank you.
Barbara is the second one.
We had the first one who later got a dex to work from behind, and then we had Barbara from forestry to come and save us, and then we nearly lost the elections. Do you understand? So I'm saying that if you at that time, me MPP, what are you talking about? Didn't we nearly lose the election? So if you had a Barbara Honorable kind of Ofosu Ejare, then I would understand why you would want to beat her up. Do you understand? So now in your submission you said something I would want to The UNESCO bit and why you think that President John Mahama, under his astute leadership, did so well. And UNESCO, we should congratulate him anytime anything comes from UNESCO. Okay. So, I would want to ask respectfully, during your tenure of office, what's the largest lump of funds or resource that trickled down from UNESCO? And what specific chore or project you used that fund for that today we can cite as something that improved our situation as agents and agencies under the ministry? Just that.
See, that's the problem with us in the sector. That you haven't, it means that you don't even know when the conventions were ratified. They were ratified in 2016.
Okay, I missed that memo.
You did miss that memo. I don't even recall seeing you at any of the events anyway, but let's leave that. That's personalizing it.
No, it's fair. I didn't attend any.
No.
Yes, I've been
The
busy.
question was not asked, but you've answered it,
Yes,
so that's
I've been
okay.
very busy.
So, first of all, thank you for the kind words. We did share some thoughts in the waiting area, and the thing about Elizabeth and I, we're both in Parliament. You know that,
Yes.
and there's only one person sitting between the two of us.
Wow, that's close.
Yeah, it's only lawyer Sosu that sits between
Wow,
the two of
a
us.
lawyer.
And we chat.
Okay.
And we chat all the time. Perceptions can be based on facts and can be based on fallacy. So let's just leave that whole conversation out of it. I think it's part of the narrative to say women can't work together.
Okay.
It's part of the narrative to reinforce the women are their own enemies, theory, which I don't buy. As George was telling you, I like to do things properly.
Yeah.
I realize that I'm the first female performing artist, so to speak. There are other performing artists who've been in ministerial positions, but my generation, I'm the first one to get that opportunity. It was my responsibility to make it possible for another person from this sector to be nominated and put in that position. So for me, I worked in the interest of the sector, not only as a politician. So that could come across to political appointees as being strong. My thing was that if the sector does well, I remain in it. I'm not going anywhere. So it's my duty to ensure that those of us who were either nominated, appointed, interest holders, opinion leaders in the domain, we needed to understand that it is our collective responsibility to make sure the ministry succeeds. But I think that as a sector, we sometimes work against each other. And that was fed outside as if it was Elizabeth and I. No.
Oh, so we are still on the Elizabeth and you.
But you mentioned it, you raised it, so I'm addressing them.
Rasta,
I
allow
put them
her to.
down.
Allow her to. Please let's not interrupt. So we come on it.
This not being easy to work with is because, look, you must stand for something or you fall for anything. I stand for hard work. I stand for brightening your corner where you find it. You find yourself. I stand for being the example. I don't compromise on those things. And that can be difficult for people to deal with. And I totally understand. But because I understand does not mean that I'm about to, sacrifice what I stand for just so that you can be happy. So I think that was not interpreted properly by many people outside of the ministry, actually, who created and fed this narrative. But let me say that, as I said, we were given a mandate, a short-term, medium-term, and a long-term thing. All the legal things we did, I had 3 years to do all of that.
Oh, you served only in the first term?
But John Mahama got one term, right?
But during the Mills era.
No, I was not there.
that
No,
used-
no,
yeah,
no,
the ministry
no.
was not there.
Yeah,
That's
but I
when
said-
music
Yes,
got the money.
exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, be quiet, Kwame. Do be quiet.
I am now.
So I've said to you that the ministry was set up by an executive instrument. 2013. I got to work in May of 2013. And by the end of 2016, I was not a minister anymore.
Yeah,
by
I
the
remember.
7th of January, my job was done.
That's true.
Of 2017, right? So I'm saying that we've laid a certain foundation for the ministry. You didn't agree that it was good, but I think that it was an excellent place to place us, to put us as a sector. And I've given you the history. We were orphans who had mothers who fed us. Somebody fed us for breakfast, somebody fed us for lunch, somebody had mercy on us and gave us accommodation at night. But this was the first time we could call a place our home. But to be able to claim equal rights as an already established sector like tourism, we needed to pick up all the things that we could work with. Make it legal. You can't work in a vacuum.
I agree.
And to do that in by the Constitution, not by our whims and caprices, it has to follow procedure. And the procedure can slow you down, no matter how fast you want to run. So that has to be admitted and accepted as what it is. If the person who conceived this idea did not think it was important enough, I don't think that he would have given us all the support that I got as a deputy minister or as a ministry. We got all the support to do the short-term task that was assigned us. I don't know which LI you are talking about and which domain. You mentioned an LI.
Yeah, I said that you cited as part of the reasons things seem to have dragged, that even the LI itself took a while in, sort of arming the ministry to be fully operational.
Only because, as I said, that then becomes like every other ministry in this country. Whatever legal thing you're doing, all the ministries, you send your staff to attorney generals. So when it leaves your domain, you can't determine the pace. Because everybody is sending their things to the same attorney general's office. So that delayed quite a bit. And then once you get the documents back, you go to Parliament again. They also do their bit. They accept it. Then it's gazetted. Then you can start using it. That takes time.
No, in fact, I think we're on the same page. I was only appreciating
the
bit that,
okay.
yes.
I thought it was a question.
Yes, so moving forward, or ripple effects of that delay in quotes was that we agents on the grounds thought that it was more like you guys were wasting time, but whilst in reality,
we weren't wasting time. Actually,
yes, but
I
you
was
see,
in a hurry.
the way you've had time, and I was reminding Uncle Kenda once in the studio. I think you made a promise over the phone, and then subsequently we reminded you. I think you were listening in. Your security guy brought the chocolates that you had promised. Right, live on radio.
It was a chocolate day, I
week
think.
or something.
Yeah.
Now, you see, sitting here, you've said a lot, and I'm like, wow. At the time that you were in office, you could have, maybe you did, and I missed that too, but you could have seized an opportunity to explain to rest these facts of the reason why maybe your tenure was mainly clerical to serve as the foundation for subsequent ministers to build on. I'm just saying, many of the things you did. Oh, you did?
Yeah. I sound like a broken record to myself, really, because I think I tried to get the message out there that we are all forgetting that we didn't have that ministry before. I kept telling you that it was only in 2013. So, and we can't do things the way we want because that will make us happy.
All right.
It has to be situated within a context. I think I did very often, actually.
I think you did. Let us move on. Let me bring Jesse Ejapong into the conversation. But before we go on, if you just tuned in, our special guest in the studio is Honorable Abla Dzifa Gomashie, MP K2 South. I'm going to find out how she won that constituency. And she's a veteran actress, producer, and of course, she is a former Deputy Minister for Tourism, Arts and Culture under John Mahama's NDC administration, the one term, as we've clarified on here. And, before we brought you into the studio, we hit the street and we spoke to a few people. I'm going to play one of the things one of them said before we come to Jesse. So take a listen to this.
So I think what Dzifa has achieved in Ghana is something great that many women would look to aspire or achieve her feat in future, because being an actress, going on to be a deputy minister, now an MP, isn't something that is easy. But with a woman of her nature being able to achieve this, I think is something great for the youth, both boys and girls. So she's a great role model for people to follow and an inspiration in this country.
And Sarah by Sarkodie and Ifya is also one of your favorite songs? Why this particular song? What is it about this song that you love?
one?
Sarah. This one. What is it about this song that you love so much?
So when she started it,
Yeah.
she would usually, she has an amazing relationship with her mother,
Yeah.
who, by the way, is my shadow.
Yeah.
And I'm her shadow too. So Nana Hima would share the things that her daughter
Is working on.
her work
Yeah.
with me. Somehow she sends me the what do you all call it? Those things?
Is it the
Demo?
video or the demo? Okay,
Yeah,
before the final.
she sent it
yeah,
to me.
mix.
And there was something that Nana Hima herself did. She was late to an event we were going to attend. So she sends the song and then she was late. So I said, so somehow it became a song that, just resonates with me and
Okay.
her. And Ifya is my baby,
Yeah, she is a gem. She's a gem.
She and my son are close in age, and we used to handle them like twins when they were kids.
Okay.
So yeah, I just love her and I love that song because of her mother.
We will do a bit more of the songs that you love. I've gotten
Like
all
you
of them.
yourself, Usubanya Sumposa as a
Meme
son.
Subanya, yeah, power. We know the Subanya Philip. Jesse, Honorable is in the studio. Talk to us.
Okay. So, Honorable, welcome.
Thank you.
So I'm one of the people who I have a very huge expectation of a politician. And the belief is that the politics is how we would govern ourselves into tomorrow. And therefore, I take politicians and their words seriously. And so when sometimes it seems as if the politician is a little bit shaky in what he's trying to do, then it worries me because I have so much hope in the politician. And I'm starting from here because I remember in the last election, one of the things that the NDC had trumpeted a lot was an idea of attempting to separate the creative arts aspect of the ministry. Sadiq and the rest of the team here, we had an extensive debate around this. I was one of the people who believed that it probably wasn't right to separate it. Now, today I'm listening to you explain the rationale behind it being brought together.
Yeah.
And the vision of John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency, the former president, in thinking that creative art is an integral part of shaping tomorrow's culture today. And it's an integral part of the tourism package. So, and this thinking came up, according to you, in 2013 when the executive instrument was passed. And then we jumped straight to 2020, which is just 7 years apart. And we are being told again by maybe your committee. I'm assuming that you were part of the committee that suggested the separation. So I want to understand the thinking behind that proposal that was given to your party that led to it being adopted as part of the People's Manifesto. Why the change of mind in just 7 years? Because you led that. And then I probably would also go to part of the one of my desires is that politicians would always understand that when they go into office, they are clear about some of the challenges they might face. And part of the challenges they would face will be procedural challenges. So sometimes I would listen to politicians and they would say there are too many things happening. And like in your case, you say the Attorney General's department has lots of things to do, and therefore maybe lots of the things may have been in queue. But I'm sure you probably may have read the book, Eating Up the Big Fish. And sometimes if you're coming in small, you need to work twice as hard, more than those who are already big. And therefore, if you had the right support, maybe you could have bullied your way through and gotten more things done. So I feel that it's not okay for a politician to technically say that, it didn't happen because there were queues. Because politics is also about influence, about negotiations. It's about understanding the strings to push, and it's about the right calls to make. So maybe technically we could have attempted to push those things through. So
which things?
The things you say couldn't happen because there were lots of queues at the Attorney General's department. No. I'm quoting you.
No, out of context, really.
No, that's the same thing you said.
So,
but I would love. Okay, so
rush.
May I finish, please?
Yeah, you may. But when you misquote me, then you must allow me to.
No, I'm not.
Situate it properly.
I'm not misquoting. I'm saying
okay, hold on. You. And let him finish.
Okay.
Then we can address all of them as one point, so that the listeners.
Then
can
I feel for me again from an education point of view, because I think Kwame made a point as to it may be great for people to know exactly what had been done so far, and I hear her talk a lot about the foundation. I can make an assumption that the Creative Arts Agency, the bill, may have been pushed from their time. So for me, I think it's a big call out that is very significant in shaping what the creative art space would look like. And I feel that that's being part of the foundation. There are lots more things I would like to know from her, understanding that the challenges within the creative art space, as an example, are financial in nature, are business in nature. So just saying foundation might not be okay for me. I just want her to sell it more to us.
A bit
so these are the three things that I need. The why the flip-flop in whether we should have a combined ministry.
Or to separate.
In just 7 years, we're changing our mind. And then why, as a small incubated combined ministry, the politician didn't politic herself strongly enough to be able to accelerate the growth they needed. So that's it. So let's start from the first.
All right.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Now let's clarify the misquoting bit. Then we can go into the rest.
Look, I don't think that there was undue delay. It's just the speed with which you all wanted me. I was saying it in reference to the speed that you wanted us to do things.
Yeah.
So it was not that I'm complaining that I couldn't do my things. No.
It's just that there was a certain time limit expectation
He
from.
said,
right.
He was saying that. Sorry.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes. He was saying that they sat here and thought that we were not doing so.
Yeah.
But I was telling him that things don't move as fast as you want when you're working with other ministries. And that's only because these are legal things. If I went to the sports ministry, for example, GFA is already there, is doing this thing.
Yeah.
The other agency, all their things are already there. This was a new ministry. I am now mandated to set it up. You can't expect me to be working as fast as the one
the sports
who
ministry who already have all the arms and
right.
Yeah.
So it was in context that it's not that there was undue delay. It was just part of the procedure.
Okay.
When you set up the committee will bring its work, and then you send it to them, and then they go through. Then they say this is good, this is not good. Then it goes to another level. Then it goes to another level. Now that we have done all of those things, their work is cut out for them in the ministry. If there's anything that I regret that I didn't push hard enough, it would be that, I would have preferred that we had at the ministry a director in charge of culture, a director in charge of creative arts, a director in charge of tourism at the ministry who understand each of technocrats who understand each of these three domains that become the ministry. But as the ministry was there before us, it was tourism. So bringing those two on, you find that in the ministry, there are more people leaning towards tourism than us. So if I had opportunity, if we had stayed in power for the second term, that's what I would have pushed for. That we have these directors in place. So all the agencies, you know which director in the ministry you go to.
So the creative agency knows who to come to.
Absolutely.
The culture people
Absolutely.
know who to come
Absolutely.
to. Yeah.
So for me, if there's anything I regret, that would be it. That I didn't have opportunity to do that. It would have made it easier for the domains to appreciate the work that has been done and what the expectation is and what they can do to make it work. That is and you know, I'm grateful for that civil society organization which you've all succeeded in. Well, I don't know what to call it, but the Ghana Culture Forum, yes, it held that position in a way. It held a position for me in a way.
My own uncle,
yes.
Akunu Dakes.
Akunu and Antesi were the conveners of the Culture Forum. Now we've elected someone else whose name has slipped my mind, who is in charge now.
Yeah.
They stepped aside, an election was held, and somebody won. And so you say, wow. What do music, sir? You like a creative, I said, there are other domains in it. Eh? So, man, no music, no, but yeah. Yes, she may say. Yeah, you know, so I think they held the fort a little bit. But it will be important for the ministry itself to revisit the management services division of the civil service.
Yeah.
For them to give them a proper organogram, which would accommodate that, what I'm saying. In fact, I think that they did. I think they towards the end, before we exited, I think they brought something. It will be my hope that we revisit that. When that is done, it should be easy for us to progress, I think. Did I miss anything out?
The first question.
Which is what?
I think I had said...
yeah.
13 there.
Okay, so yes, that bit about 2013 is when the EI was written.
Yes.
But the process started before 2013.
I get it, but,
so,
but the intention or the crux of it was to bring it together.
Yes, it did.
So, but there was a genuine thinking behind.
Yes,
behind
absolutely.
So, in 7 years, what changed the thinking that your manifesto committee proposed the separation?
I think that I think the committee listened to the ground. What you were saying, you assume that we don't listen. What you were saying.
No, we never assumed that.
Oh, Bojidi.
No. We never assumed that. No, we never did that because, see, we've had the same discussions here.
Are you ground? You said I shouldn't interrupt you. You wait.
Okay, but I thought you also said that if you misquote me, then I need to.
No, I'm not misquoting you. I said the ground. Are you the ground? I'm not misquoting you. Ask a question.
Right, just let her finish. Then you can come in.
You said, why did it happen? And I said the ground. We were listening. You assume we don't listen.
Listen,
but
okay,
we're listening to the ground.
Okay.
How is that your statement?
No, you
it's
said
not
you
yours.
assume you could be me or anybody.
No. You as in the sector. The domain.
Okay. Then that's what you mean. Okay.
Quiet.
Clarity is
quiet.
good.
Quiet. So, we were listening. Many people were saying that, and I think it's just because perhaps, as Kwame said to me earlier on that when we engaged, we talked, some things became clearer to him.
Yeah.
I'm sure that there are many people who spoke against what we had done because they didn't understand, as he claims to understand now. The calls for separation would not have been so loud. It was loud.
Yeah.
I heard. I never responded to it.
Yeah.
Because it's an interest group that were pushing that agenda.
Yeah.
Now, would I swim against the tide or flow with the tide? That would be the question for the party to decide. If I was consulted and I have my way, it should never be separated. But there are people with clout in this sector who were also interested in seeing it separated.
Separated.
Calling for the Ministry of Creative Arts of a sort.
Sadiq was one of them.
That's okay.
Yeah.
And many others. And many others.
Yeah.
So
Uncle Ken, you remember, yeah?
Party.
Sadiq very strongly.
So-
yes, separate.
so
yeah, yeah,
as
yeah.
I'm-
So when she's out coming,
As I'm saying-
slander me.
as I'm saying,
Yeah.
people were speaking, and they spoke loudly. They
Yeah.
were heard. It was a listening government, so it was taken into consideration. Look, for me, what's important is that the industry should do well.
Yeah.
Like, I can't go and be a nurse.
True.
I can't go and be a teacher. I've chosen.
You'd actually make a fine teacher.
Oh dear Lord, I would have murdered you by now if you were my student.
But I was at some point, and it was hard.
But look at all of you in that gang, eh?
Oh yeah.
Ajete Anan.
We turned out perfect. Thanks to you.
Yeah.
Roland Adom,
Roland,
Cosmeta
look at all of
Santi.
you.
Yeah.
I was hard on these boys, man.
Too hard.
But I'm proud. I'm a proud mama. I look at all of you and the work that you do now.
Thank you.
The discipline that you come to work with. I take a share
Actually,
bit of the-
Ajete Anan disgraces all of us. And let me
Oh,
just
Lord.
digress a bit. You give Ajete Anan a call time for 6 a.m. He's there at 5. It's annoying.
No, it's not.
He even puts
It's
pressure
good.
on directors and producers. So I also
I asked the
there.
producer what time I got here. I sat in the car. I didn't want to come and harass you.
know.
I came
Yeah.
early, but I sat in the car to wait. I think it's good practice to always be on time.
Yes.
So your mind is settled.
Yeah.
You're not rushing in and figuring out stuff. But let me just say that the party was listening to the ground and responded, and that's how come the manifesto had that in it. But
Messages. Okay.
I still stick with mine that I agree with what we started, which is to have creative arts and culture in one and tourism in one house, because that's what we sell.
Exactly.
With the 3 directors,
Directors,
that's
yeah.
what I would have preferred.
But as evidence in your manifesto, it looks like even that wisdom was overruled. Because in your latest manifesto, which
I don't
No,
know.
but-
I don't remember.
No, I don't. Yeah.
it's
Anyway.
not there.
No,
But I
it was
think
pushed, but
I think it's the
spokesman.
same. Obviously, the same principle, but
Spokesman.
obviously, just to clarify, I advocated the position of the party, which I also believed in, which is also on the basis of the feedback we took from industry, which reflected in what happened in the party. But you realize that the principle behind her suggestion still provides basis for this, which is that these are 3 huge sectors that need a certain focus and direction to that point where she would rather suggest directors. I mean, because obviously having started a new ministry, I'm sure she's conversant with the challenges of setting it up, going through the EIs and going through the whole processes and all of that. So the easiest for her would have been that have different directors to do exactly what the suggestion for the standalone ministry was going to
Yeah.
do anyway.
Because this is not an election year, I would let you leave and let's move on. Because it's okay.
Okay.
did
So
I answer
then,
your question?
You answered it, except that I'm not happy.
why is
No,
your
but I'm not here to make you happy.
No, you have
I-
to.
I-
You're a
wait, wait, wait.
politician.
No, oh, come on.
You have to make me happy.
You see, but no, I don't
Oh,
have
you,
to make you
I
happy.
thought you asked me a question, or it was
I don't have to make you
rhetoric.
happy. And you see that you started your question to me on the premise of politicians.
I
do
have
so,
belief
so.
in politicians, so I
Yeah,
take them
but you
seriously.
see, you're sitting here and making reference to politicians and politics and so on. We all are politicians. You called me here. You say she's a veteran actress, right?
Yeah.
I am a poet. I like to call myself a poet.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
I'm a dancer.
Yes.
Look, let me
A
tell
very
you.
good dancer,
Well, thank you, George Quaye. My teachers in Legon will tell you that I am a good dancer.
Yeah.
Okay. But now I'm in a political appointment. Who are politicians? Who are they? Do they come from Mars? They come from amongst us. It's all of us. It's a problem. Now, Ghana, I'm speaking to Ghana.
Yeah.
Ghana constantly, I think Ghana constantly likes to shift that space to other people and step aside and say they are bad. Come on.
But nobody passed.
When you
I'm
go
confused.
into parliament now.
Hold on.
No,
Hold
as
on.
I'm speaking to Ghana.
Hold
What's
on.
wrong
This one
with
is for all of us. So you hold on.
Jeez.
Yeah. No, you come next to you. Hold on. Please continue.
You know,
Yes.
there are lawyers, there are doctors, there are teachers, there are nurses, there are business people in parliament, right?
Yeah.
in appointments, also in the ministries, you've got people with varied backgrounds
Yeah.
who are in political appointments. Who are they? Where do they come from?
You and I.
Why are they shaky? Why do you describe them as they when they waver, when they it's human. It's a human thing. Only 2 days ago, I was watching CNN, and a journalist on CNN was saying that, how do they come to the conclusion that their type of democracy is what the world needs? And when the person asked, I said, where's my phone? I wanted to record that. Because that's the crux of the thing. There's a certain hybrid that we have here that doesn't seem to work for us. We are not even able to change it. And so it's easy for us to just lump everybody up and call us politicians, and we are not good, and we are bad people, and we don't make people happy. We should make people happy. Ghana.
I don't know.
It's Ghana. I'm talking to Ghana.
Okay.
Because since I became deputy minister and now MP, I've had this. Look,
Over
I
and
went to
again.
Korle Bu. Don't personalize this, Jesse. I went to Korle Bu.
No, actually, I'm just.
Yeah.
And this person who is doing the test says, please, after the thing is done, she says, please, can I ask you a question? I said, sure. She said, please, why did you even go into politics? I said, why? Do I have leprosy because I went into politics? She says, no. The way I used to love you, I said, and you hate me now? She said, as for politicians, who are they? Who are these dreaded people?
But you see, Ma, if people are thinking that way, could it be a response to the frustrations people are going through? Because people believe that if I'm sitting in a bus from Accra to Cape Coast, my life is in the hands of the driver. If I'm on a plane, it's not just in the hands of the pilot, it's the hands of the pilot and those are the control
crew,
towers,
everybody.
the people that he is communicating with, cabin crew and everybody else.
And your family witches.
Well, that too. Yeah, some more. How did we get this money into the studio? You know?
Where? What's she back
So,
away?
in the same way, me in the country as a citizen, I believe my welfare, my satisfaction, my happiness, my everything is in the hands of the politician. So if I'm struggling, or perhaps that's what we've been made to believe. I made a post on somebody's Facebook, a comment on someone's Facebook post recently, something to do with politicians, and the person was asking, it had to do with money. And I was saying, look, even the money we give our politicians is not enough because of what we demand from them. And it's a mental thing. And I know politicians. Sadiq, you go to their houses. Look, Sadiq, you go to their houses. Look, when I was working at Charter House, there was this politician who lived just up the road in the North Carnation area. I'm sure you know him. You go there and there's a queue. At 5 a.m., there's a queue. Some are coming for school fees, hospital bills. Why should we, if we keep doing that, maybe that is what the person, and that's what makes politicians
in
bad.
that sense.
You understand?
Those who are queuing.
So it's maybe the politicians, I think, in Ghana,
Yeah.
if you ask me, I think politicians overpromise.
Promise.
Promise.
Well,
I think politicians
suppose.
always overpromise, and that is why
can we just
people
qualify
keep...
and say some politicians?
Well,
do
but
over-
generalize.
promise-
That is why somebody is saying
Did
you
I
went
promise
into
you anything?
politics and she doesn't love you anymore.
I know,
Anyway,
right?
before I come to Uncle Ken, this one says,
Oh, really?
yes, we are going to.
Yes,
we are
really.
running out of time. This one says,
George.
good evening, GQ. Tell Honorable Abla Dzifa Gomashie we miss her acting skills. Now, GQ, contradictions and irregularities in Ghana's tourism and creative arts sector figures are obstructing gains of the sector and hindering the need for government to potentially continue to build on advances in the industry. This phenomenon is what I guess is hampering proper planning and policy direction of this sector. Please find out from Honorable Gomashie during her tenure, was her office able to draft a policy document for Ghana tourism account? This one is coming in from Emmanuel Joel Pepra Mensa inside Labadi. George, good afternoon. You really attracted... George, you are really attracted to nice people. And also my first time listening to her and also seeing her beautiful picture on the net. The Honorable Abla Dzifa Gomashie is a beautiful woman. Papa Ansa Lata Ikiapim. Kwame, you know you pay catch feelings so. Hi George, I wasn't happy at all when your honorable guest was changed from her ministry because she is the real industry person. I am enjoying your show. Ajman Joseph from Community 9 Tema sent that one in. GQ, you guys are doing a great show. Kudos to the Showbiz A to Z team, the best entertainment review show in Ghana. It's an entertainment show. When you say entertainment review, it sounds like the pun is intended. GQ, please ask ma'am the relationship between the Tourism Culture Ministry and the Chieftaincy Ministry. Greetings to Uncle Ken Papasi inside Aprede. GQ, ask her if being a deputy minister limited her delivery in her mandate. I'm enjoying the show live. You guys are doing a great job. From Francis, aka Enemies Are Not God, inside Hohoi. GQ, good afternoon. This is Fidelis from Sakumono. Today is World Sack Day, and I wish Obede a happy birthday. I love you, Ken Sack. Good afternoon, George. Indeed, Sack is the general of the music industry in Ghana. Sack is like the Mercedes-Benz or the Bentley that has no size. He's really a gem. God bless him and his family. Papa Ansa sent that one in again. George, these days we see Sack with cigar. Tell the others to stop smoking king size. Shit. Shit. Uncle Ken. Please, I don't know. Please, I don't know who is doing skins.
Yes. George.
Yes, Uncle Ken.
It's good to see Mamaga here this
It is too good.
afternoon.
Yes.
Such a lovely lady. I was one of the few people, or maybe amongst the number of people who thought that it needed time for that ministry to be set up. Sadiq, do you remember when we were in the other room? I was always defending the pace at which work was progressing, because I said, look, it's not easy to set things up in this country. Now, this was a brand new ministry, and we were all pushing, which they should be doing this, doing that, doing this, doing that. And I felt that, no, man, it doesn't work like that in this country. It needs time. So I think for what they achieved by the time they left office, at least with the Creative Arts Bill, that was some work done, because the Film Act took over 20 years to come into fruition. The one they passed just before then.
Yeah.
I have two issues with Mamaga. The first one has to do with the fact that I'm very sad that during her tenure as deputy minister, she was not a member of parliament. I say this because I look at the Tourism Act of 2011, Act 817, and that was passed in 2011, okay? Now, the Film Act was passed in 2016, just before they left office. Going through the Tourism Act, I find something that I simply don't understand. In actual fact, the last time the PRO from the Tourism Authority
the gentleman
came
here.
here, I raised that issue. In the Tourism Act, the authority has the right to license cinema halls.
True.
And the same thing happens in the Film Act 935. The authority, the National Film Authority, also has the right to register and license cinema halls. And I said to myself, how can that happen? Two entities of the same ministry being given the authority to license
cinema halls.
It's just confusion galore. And so I asked the gentleman that when he went back...
That was Jones, right?
Jones, yes. If you remember, I said to Jones, go back, raise this issue with the authorities and see if it can be rectified, because it does not speak well of our members of parliament. Meaning that this Film Act was not thought of thoroughly. And I don't know what you think, Mamaga, but this maybe you're not even aware of what I'm saying. But it's happened. It's in the bill. It's in the acts, both acts. Two entities being given the right to license, same thing. My second thing is I want to know if you're still acting. Like somebody sent a text just now to say they miss your acting skills.
Oh Lord.
Do you still act?
I don't.
You don't? Okay.
No.
Let me finish my
Right.
reason for asking. What do you make of your organization, the Actors Guild, and the mess in which they find themselves as we speak? Have they approached you, or have you tried to sort out the differences between them with all these court cases and what have you?
Tough one. I wish I could sneak out of this one.
Uncle Ken. No,
yeah.
no. That's why he sits there, so you can't run past.
So I haven't done acting in a very long time. I think the last thing I did was a cameo role I played in Lydia Folson's film. The name has even slipped my mind now. What?
Yeah.
Coming to America.
Then it's
Is that old? No, is that old? Is that, be quiet, Kwame.
Hey.
So, I love stage. I'm more a theater. Yeah, I love stage more than being in front of the camera. And then when I discovered my passion for watching children interpret and bring to life roles, I shifted to, I was producing by the far side.
Yes.
So that took away my, I rediscovered myself and my passion in watching the children bring life to a role. Then I couldn't find myself doing it again. That joy was just so satisfying and so fulfilling. I kind of like stepped aside. As stage also had lost its verve. Plus, let's admit, our sector we can't live on what we get from that. We will be quiet. Because we can't make a decent living. And I'm putting this in quotes, right? Because some... listen, whereas somebody can live on a 2,000 cedi salary, another cannot live on a 5,000 cedi salary. I've earned my stripes. Do you understand?
Sure.
I've earned my stripes.
Sure.
So if I'm going to go on stage or in front of a camera, I should be able to determine how much you're going to pay me.
Very true.
And I always had a problem with people.
Yeah.
Because they bring the script and I question the script.
Yeah.
If I'm going to play the role, the fact that you wrote it, the fact that you are producing, the fact that you are directing does not mean I cannot have an opinion.
Yeah.
And I always have an opinion.
Yeah.
And I like my opinion to be heard. You don't have to agree though, and you don't have to accept it. But at least hear me out. And so there's always this tangle in this jungle, and I couldn't handle it anymore. And I thought, okay, let it go and find something else to do. I took to cooking, which I love to do. And then again, even though that money was good, I couldn't combine it with the political side of me. So I had to let that too go. The name of Mama's Kitchen and Dzifa Gomashie had become synonymous. And when I went into office, the standard was falling. And that was a problem for me. See, as George and I have said, when I want to do something, do it right and do it well. And when I stepped aside, the texture of the food is not the same. The taste is changing. It was all just getting bad. So I just closed it down and focused on my work as a deputy minister. So acting is not... Yes, acting right now doesn't give me that energy anymore. I've stayed out of dealing with the issues in domains, especially the ones where I came from. For the simple reason that I became the junior mother of the sector. And so to now try and micromanage a domain, I thought was not right. I didn't want to be seen to be micromanaging any of the domains. Fashion is with us, dance is with us, film is with us, new media is with us. Film, music, they're all there. Now, there are issues in music. Why am I not being asked to do that?
Because nobody sees you as a musician.
No, I don't have to be a musician.
Right,
I'm the former deputy minister of the sector.
Of the sector, correct.
So it puts me in a different place. And me person di me lemu. You know, I want I don't want to be micromanaging any domain so that I don't either add to the mess or be seen to be siding with one faction. And that's why I stayed out of it. Nobody has approached me. Nobody has asked my opinion. Nobody has sought my counsel.
Within the guild?
Yes, you asked whether they have. No,
yeah,
they haven't.
They haven't.
No, they haven't.
Honorable, hold that thought again, rather. You mentioned food.
Yes.
And this is the time for me to sign out on Joy Prime because the Onga Cook Art is next and it's connected to food.
I mean,
so now that you mentioned food,
I just thought you were going to say that food is coming.
No. Food coming. Philip will take care of it right after. So to our viewers on Joy Prime, thank you so very much for being a part of the show today. Show is continuing right here on Joy 99.7 FM for another half an hour. We've got the Honorable Abla Dzifa Gomashie right here with us in the studios. But hey, show continues. Show comes your way again next week, and sure that you do catch us again next week for another exciting edition of Showbiz A to Z. My name is George Quaye, but show continues right here on Joy and of course online at myjoyonline.com, and we're still on Facebook. We're going to take our last break, and then when we come back, we continue our conversation with Honorable Abla Dzifa Gomashie. Stay on. This is Joy.
Hello. Oh, Charlie, how be? Bro, I need some help. Right, my money all finished. And months no end, so I make hot pass. I feel see some small loan for a side, I bet.
Oh, bro, Charlie, I make hot pass you. My landlord today can't take your rent.
Oh, Charlie. All right, you make a call another person. Hello. Oh, Charlie, I need some help. Right, my money all finished. And months no end, so I make hot pass. So you see, I feel,
The number you are trying to reach is not available. Please call back later.
Hey, Adane. Kelvin. Yes. You make hot. Charlie. Rough. So make today payday with Cowbank Salary Advance. Get an advance of up to 80% of your net monthly salary before payday. Just visit the nearest Cowbank branch, or you can call our toll-free number on 0800 500 500 to find out how you can apply today.
Cowbank, forward together.
Hey you, yes you. Have you heard we're giving up to 50% discounts on tiles, sanitary ware, electricals and more?
True. Batty Days from Batimat is from July 3rd to July 17th and it's up to 50% discount. Call us on 030-223-2303 or WhatsApp us on 054-431-4553. We are located at North Industrial Area next to Winners Chapel, Ghana, close to ECG Aveno, Accra.
Batimat, everything for construction from foundation to finishing.
Classical music made by Bach, express God's love. Classical music made by Beethoven, express God's power. Classical music made by Mozart, express God's laughter. Please join Jeffrey every Thursday and Sunday, 12 a.m. to 1:30 a.m. to enjoy the very best of classical music by legendary composers here on Joy 99.7 FM.
Nana, Yen Control. Jumia presents Celebrate Your Everyday. It's Jumia's 9th anniversary and we are celebrating with amazing specials. Enjoy up to 50% discount on your favorite brands. Jumia Day for you, Ankasa. Download the Jumia app. Jumia, your everyday delivered.
Change the way we look at things, the things we look at change.
Winning strategies, nuggets of wisdom, unforgettable stories, all in one inspirational hour. Springboard your virtual university with Albert and Comfort Okran and guests.
Planning is bringing the future into the present.
A job is for the salaries, mundane, survival oriented, and there's no passion. But a career has fulfillment, innovation, drive. A growth path is clear, and you can build step by step all the way to the top.
Matriculate at 7 p.m. and graduate at 8 p.m. every Sunday on Joy 99.7 FM and live on Facebook. Springboard is brought to you by Legacy and Legacy and Joy 99.7 FM and proudly sponsored by MTN, Enterprise Group, UMB Bank, and Axis Pension Trust with support from the graphic business.
Fellow final year students, I have good news for you. Joy Learning, your numero uno educational TV channel, is back on your screens with your award-winning revision show. Oh yeah, and with a bang and a difference. Get ready for a great teaching and learning experience with your favorite TV teachers as they take you through a totally different TV revision session as you prepare for your mock and final exam.
Product of 2 minus the total product of level 1.
Hydrogen atom that has lost an electron. U is equal to 27 minus N.
The answer is volcanology.
Volcanology, one time. Thank you.
Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic.
Every summary question has a specific requirement. Listen carefully.
The insurance prepaid are all shown under the current asset beautifully.
You have the opportunity to send questions before your favorite revision show is aired through video, text, or voice messaging on all our social media platforms. On Facebook and Twitter, it's Joy Learning TV. On Instagram, it's Joy_Learning TV. And the TV teachers will be right there with the answers. You can watch the revision show by tuning in to Joy Learning on your multi-TV digibox every Monday to Friday from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Feel free to ask mind-boggling questions on any subject taught on Joy Learning, either via phone calls, Zoom or WhatsApp video calls, or text us live on TV. Revision Show, your TV teacher everywhere. The revision show for SHS final year students shows Mondays to Fridays from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Joy Learning. Keep learning.
The stage is set. The battle lines have been drawn. Are you ready to pitch your football knowledge against the boss? It's the biggest football challenge to hit your screens. Be part of the thrills, fireworks, and the excitement as 3 people vie to win big and chip away part of the 250,000 Ghana cedis cash from the boss. The Boss TV Game Show Soccer Edition coming to Joy Prime, GTV Sports Plus, TV3, and Max TV every week starting Saturday, 10th of July. Proudly brought to you by G Money from GCB Bank. G Money, Papanaba, Tratum. The Boss TV Game Show is regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana.
Do you need a deeper understanding to things taught in your senior high school? Joy Learning SHSR is here to solve all your academic challenges. Our SHS lessons on Joy Learning is back with more exciting and award-winning TV teachers. Dear students, in the comfort of your homes, we bring you a new classroom experience. We are going to take our time to take you through all the syllabus from A to Z.
Literature inspires you, teaches and educates, of course.
What will this world look like without numbers?
And you see the watch seller who has set up her watch and is selling to you, you have definitely met
debt. The B is not pronounced, but we don't have the money to do so.
We can also talk about specific solutions
where people do what they want and the fittest survives.
You would not have a personal identification number.
Divided by 100 times 65,000.
Catch your favorite TV teachers as they bring you senior high school hour from Monday to Friday. SHS 1 lessons start from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. And from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. we'll bring you SHS 2 lessons only on Joy Learning. Joy Learning, celebrating a year of impactful teaching and learning. Joy Learning. Keep learning. Fellow final year students, I have good news for you. Joy Learning, your numero uno educational TV channel, is back on your screens with your award-winning revision show. Oh yeah, and with a bang and a difference. Get ready for a great teaching and learning experience with your favorite TV teachers as they take you through a totally different TV revision session as you prepare for your mock and final exam.
Product of 2 minus the total product of level 1.
Hydrogen atom that has lost
an electron?
U is equal to 27 minus N.
The answer is volcanology.
Volcanology, one time. Thank you.
Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. Every summary question has a specific requirement. Listen carefully.
The insurance prepaid are all shown under the current asset beautifully.
You have the opportunity to send questions before your favorite revision show is aired through video, text, or voice messaging on all our social media platforms. On Facebook and Twitter, it's Joy Learning TV. On Instagram, it's Joy_Learning TV. And the TV teachers will be right there with the answers. You can watch the revision show by tuning into Joy Learning on your multi-TV digibox every Monday to Friday from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Feel free to ask mind-boggling questions on any subject taught on Joy Learning, either via phone calls, Zoom or WhatsApp video calls, or text us live on TV. Revision Show, your TV teacher everywhere. The Revision Show for SHS final year students shows Mondays to Fridays from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Joy Learning. Keep learning.
George is on Joy. Keep it.
Abla Gomashie, what a great character she was. She has been very adventurous from where she has been becoming a tourist minister and becoming an MP. I like her confidence as a woman. She was an actress and she once became a minister of tourism and she became an MP as well. She has become an inspiration to some of us and I say she should go on with it.
George is on Joy. Keep it locked.
Buckle up, because we're flying high with the biggest entertainment show south of the Sahara. It's Showbiz A to Z. GQ's in the seat.
Friday, Japolo, all night, Saturday night, our club.
40 going after 5. You're tuned in to Joy 99.7 FM. Also watching us on Facebook. Keep your messages coming in on 055-111-1997. It's Showbiz A to Z. We're having a beautiful, beautiful conversation with Honorable Abla Dzifa Gomashie, MP K2 South. Yeah, see, she inherited from the man Fifi Kwete. Yeah. Just imagine listening to good music from your favorite artists like the one I'm playing in the background. The MTN caller ring back tone CRBT catalogs over 16,000 songs, ranging from top songs in all the genres. They got hip life, high life, gospel, reggae, R&B, hip hop, pop with over 2,000 different artists from Ghana and beyond. The top 5 songs on caller tunes this week are Kim Promise Slow Down. And if you want to download that one, just dial *1355*226#. You can also get Kwame Eugene Dollar on You *1355*142#. Joe Metal or One Winnie *1355*140#. Fameye Praise *1355*155#. Or MTN Hitmakers Mr. Drew Smooth. You can download that from *1355*26#. Enjoy soothing music while you wait to be connected to all that important call. Dial *1355# and follow the menu for details. Press the *1 button anytime to enable you copy that song and stay connected on MTN everywhere you go. Let's go. So I'm coming back to the studio so we continue our conversations with Honorable Abla Dzifa Gomashie. Honorable, so we're back. Okay. We had to wrap it up with our viewers on Joy Prime. We're back. Now that we have very little time left, let us speak about family life. Our deepest condolences. I know you lost your husband. Was it 2017 or 18?
2019.
2019. Okay, that's the memory is still quite fresh. What kind of a man was he?
Oh Lord, do we want to go there?
I mean, briefly. I want to get you emotional.
Well, very supportive. Yeah, he was a gentleman. I mean, a gentleman's gentleman. That's how Nanajua Awido calls him. He was a gentleman's gentleman. Look, nobody's perfect. No human being is perfect. But I think that I couldn't have asked for a better person to help me through my adult life. You know how Martin was from Legon. I mean, he would bring me to school and come and wait to pick me home. He's seen me through everything, even these elections, right? He was there during the primaries, gave me all the support that I needed and deserved, and then he was gone. So he played his part. He served the Ghana forces to the best of his ability, and helped me be the best that I could be.
That's sweet.
and for you, our children, those who call us mommy and general and daddy and so on, to see all of you doing very well was part of the things we talked about a lot at home. So may Martin rest perfectly in peace.
Tell us about the rest of your family. How many kids?
Well, my father is I don't know if he's listening, and I hope that Malkunya, as Yawa, people like to call her, is making Dada listen. My father is still here. He's 96 years old.
Wow.
And
96?
Yes.
He's blessed.
96. And I live in Adenta, you see. He lives in Medina. So when I'm going to work, I still go and see him before I go.
Oh.
And I still hear the same things he says to me since I was a child. May the angels go with you and bring you home.
Amen.
And so I have an amazing family. My siblings and I, and then our children. And now we're having grandchildren too. So I feel like I've been blessed in a very special way. I lost my mother in 2014. She was a strong, principled woman.
Yep.
We used to say that our father was a soldier, but she was in the army. She was in the army. I mean, she knew how to just put a ruler by you, and you know how to do right by her. And I'm grateful for the upbringing that we have. We are Catholics, as far as church is concerned. To be a child of a parent who is from the Volta region, is from the army, and also a Catholic cannot be easy.
I'm going to go into some of the things that you have said now. Have a human face. Reconsider your draconian decision. Dzifa Gomashie to GIJ management. What was this about?
Did I say that?
You did. There is clear evidence. This man is very troublesome. He's a digger.
You see, I knew that putting the two of you together on one show was a disaster. And I made my point very clear to end them like tape. Many of the young people who know me and approached me because they needed school fees for GIJ. If they didn't pay, then they will miss a semester and all of that. The pressure was really too much for me. And look, we are all faced with COVID. Parents have lost their jobs. The banks have been closed down. People are in a hard place, a dry place. Right. Yeah. And it's because the access to cash was hard.
It was hard.
Yes. And look, I used the road in front of their school to go to work. And those of them who know my car, they will flag me down. They will send me messages. You just passed. We just saw you. And this and that. And I thought, okay,
it was too
much. Is GIJ listening to these kids? Are they putting their situation in context that perhaps they don't pay school fees? Maybe they were not paying. But at the particular time that they were in front of the gates crying and asking for mercy, I just needed to speak up.
Somebody needed to listen. Exactly.
I just needed to speak up. Look, listen to these kids and allow them to write the exam. After they finish, you can hold on to the results. Then you come and pay, and you take the thing, certificate. Not the Daddy, carry on.
Rasta.
Take it easy.
Like it's popular sense.
Rasta. Come down. Yes. Bojidi here.
I needed to just speak up for the kids, for the young people, and for them to be able to, temper justice with mercy and give them a break. Because these same kids' parents are the ones saying that times are hard. And then you sack the children so that they'll do what? They'll come and harass me. Hey, Maba.
To you in the end.
They did?
Yes.
Praise the
Granted
Lord.
them, amnesty.
Oh.
Yeah.
Can't really na kind.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nana Freddy Operator says hello.
Yes, Nana Freddy Operator.
My dear Nana Freddy. Nana, where you me ama, where jam ho? I don't know, sir. I feel papa.
And a lot of people are giving you a lot of shouts. Renee Akuapedo says she's enjoying the conversation. Kofi Atakakra from the GTDA says, hi bro, listening live and clear. Good to have my very good friend, Honorable Minister in the seat. This is Kofi Atakakra, Kusi of Ghana Tourism Authority, and I'm enjoying the show. Shout to my Honorable Minister. She is a wonderful personality. Yes. Now, we're going to go into something fun because we don't have a lot of time.
Lord.
Who are your top 5 Ghanaian musicians at the moment? Yeah, musicians. Top 5.
Oh, give it 3. Top 3.
Why? Uncle Ken, is she complaining?
They all know I'm their mother. Okay, don't do this on air. They all know I'm
but
their
you
mother.
you should have.
I've already said Afia is my daughter.
Yes, you
Becca
have.
is my daughter.
Yes.
But I love did you say Ghanaian?
Yes, Ghanaian.
You told me you like Stoneboy.
Yes, I do. And I like Kofi.
Uncle Ken, what kind of politics is this?
Yes,
that's Kofi Kenyatta. Yeah, things fall apart.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. He's very deep, eh?
Yes, Kenyatta is deep.
He's deep.
Yes.
Oh.
So you mentioned 4. Who's the 5th? Ifya, Becca, Stoneboy, Kenyatta. Who's the 5th? Who? yeah. Who would be the 5th? No, don't worry. Don't worry, it didn't go. Don't worry. Let's go. It didn't go. Don't worry. Yeah. No, we're off to you.
That's a disaster right there.
If you're not watching us on Facebook, then you missed an exciting moment.
Oh.
Honorable, the 5th. You see, don't mind them. Focus on me. Focus on me. Focus on me, Honorable. Focus on me. Don't worry. Focus on me. Yeah, I swear. Yeah, you did.
Okay, well, why is it so excited? Why is
We're always excited here. We are always excited.
Okay.
Yes, the 5th one.
I need permission to whoop the behind
of Philip. I agree with you 200%. Don't mind him.
Pushing my button for me to.
No, don't worry.
An ache in my thumb immediately. I spoke. I just got a. It is.
Yes.
I mean, he made me.
The chair is very uncomfortable, so it affects the fingers sometimes. Don't worry. Let's go on.
Mercy, Lord.
So the 5th.
Oh, let me see. Who's the 5th? Who's that?
Oh, you, Uncle Ken, why are you mentioning names for the woman?
It's like the one Philip mentioned.
No, well, I mean, look. Listen, you all are trying to mess with me. You're trying to mess with my brain.
Don't mind them.
And I refuse and reject it in Jesus' name.
You know, let's just add that Lumba or Kojoenchi. You can pick any, in fact, both of them.
I like Kojoenchi.
You like Kojoenchi, so that's it. We have the 5. Perfect.
And you know, when I was young, my crush was really Jedu Bleambule.
Oh, really?
I think he's such a cute guy.
Oh, yeah?
I used to think so. He still is, though, isn't he?
Yeah.
I think he's a cute guy.
Thank God you are not one of those who are crashing on RMD. This week, Ghanaian women haven't been letting us rest on social media. Some Nigerian actor, thank God you don't even know him.
Sorry? Oh, I saw that on Facebook.
Yes, the girls were making us.
Are you jealous?
Yeah, in fact, there's few people in my crowd who puts him out.
You know, I don't get it.
George Quaye is jealous.
But listen, it's from a distance. The guy doesn't even know us. Okay,
you know?
So
you know?
But I was able to tell Jedu Bleambule that when I was young, I used to think that what a gorgeous man.
Oh dear.
He's as dark as I am, and that for me was cool.
Yeah.
He wasn't bleaching.
No, it's good.
Uncle
Jedu Ble has always had good taste in everything, you know. So
I wouldn't know.
I know.
Well, nobody's asking.
All right, so we're wrapping it up. Honorable, in 2 minutes, what do you make of this Fix the Country? Should I call it a movement or whatever it is that's going around?
Look.
Yeah, in 2 minutes. Very, very, very short.
I think that it will be hypocritical on my part to say there's nothing wrong There's a lot that's wrong. This morning, or was it yesterday, I put a video of the middle class, they call themselves, demonstrating back in the day when John Mahama was president. If it was okay then fix the country's okay now.
Yeah.
So that's my principle.
Yeah.
It's not about it's not about whether I like it or I don't like it. The fact is that some people thought something was wrong before, and today some people think something is wrong. That's what it is. So let's just cut them some slack. Let's just take a deep breath and step aside and fix it if you can. And if you can't, we know what to do. No? You don't agree?
Bring in the CPP.
Excuse me?
You asked me. You said...
There's a better alternative.
No, but it's your opinion.
PNC?
If it's CPP you want, who's going to stop you?
Bring in the PNC?
You can't stop me from loving and being a member of the NDC. Why would I even try to stop you from being CPP?
But I haven't said I'm CPP, by the way.
Oh, you haven't?
No,
Okay,
I haven't.
that's okay. So, but I think that
Rasta knows where I am.
we all just need to be more tolerant in this country.
Very true.
I think that we are too quick to want to drown everybody. And some people are just not suppressible. You can't just keep us down. After a while, your shoulders are going to ache. You're going to release us. We will pop up. Do you see what I mean? So, by all means, if you think it's good for you, hey, you go walk to the bank and you look in your account and you think it's good. How will I know that is bad? When I look in mine, I don't like it.
Pusha says, tell her she be my original mama.
Yay.
Yes, I have been a prodigal son, but I still love her to bits. I am listening.
I love you right back.
This one says, a big slopsa hi to Dzifa
Hi,
Gomashie.
Slopsa.
She is a shining example of the school's principles. That is coming in from Ansaki inside DSTV. And Renee Akwapedo says she was one of the personalities we looked up to at the Queen of Peace Catholic Church inside Medina. And all your fans are coming home today. It's been an interesting conversation. Mommy, thank you so very much. Gentlemen, we have about a minute each. We have about 5 minutes before we get out of the studio for Billy.
The gentlemen who have been in the studio with me, your questions have been triggered deep thinking that I should reconsider some things and, see things from other people's perspective, what you thought, what was. We are in this together. We need to build this sector for ourselves. And it's not only music, dance, film. It's all the creative domains. Let's be interested in how each of them is doing well. They feed into each other. So if we focus too much on one side and leave the others, to come back to haunt us. So let's re-strategize. Thank you, guys.
Yes, gentlemen, Rasa, 30 seconds. We have the news team is already here.
Yeah, I mean, they should read the news.
Just please go ahead.
I like that.
Yes.
I wish the sector all the best.
You wish the sector all the best.
They should read the news.
We'll be back again.
Again.
No, I second Kwame Rasta.
They should read the news, right? Sadiq, Accra House of Oak. What's happening tomorrow?
We're winning the league tomorrow.
Mark,
yes. Mark.
Mark, build on it, huh?
Yes.
You can approach UNESCO now and apply for funding. You will get the funding because we ratify the conventions.
All right.
Work on it, Mark.
Perfect.
I'm pushing you.
Perfect. Thank you, Honorable.
From the ministry.
Sadiq, so Accra House of Oak is winning tomorrow.
We're winning our league tomorrow.
Hands down.
So really looking forward to that one.
Quickly, where is it going to, England or Rome? Uncle Ken already said it's going to Rome. It's
going
to
to
England
Rome.
for you.
Ghana in there?
No, Ghana is not in there. It's Europe.
Which one is
Uncle Ken says Rome. Rasta, where is it going to?
I'm pushing for England, but I think it will go to Rome.
I believe it's going to England. Mama, join me. Let's say England.
No, if Ghana team is playing, you can bring me here, but I don't know.
Oh, Ghana, you can just say House of Oak is winning tomorrow. Phobia. Thank you very much. Show was produced by my man Philip Nye. And of course, that was a great conversation with Honorable Abla Dzifa Gomashie, MP, Ketu South. News team